This is Yair Davidiy speaking to you from Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. I am speaking to you on behalf of Brit-Am Hebrew nations. We find the lost 10 tribes of Israel amongst Western nations. That is where the lost 10 tribes are to be found according to the Bible and according to secular evidence. And we have hundreds, thousands of proofs of points of evidence. And all of our points of evidence have to be taken as one concrete whole, as one holistic body of proof. That is a point that we emphasize over and over again. And we discuss these proofs, and these proofs are to be found in our articles and in our website talks, on our YouTube talks and so on. And there is not, when all of these talks and all of these different points of evidence are considered, this evidence is almost incontrovertible. It has to be accepted. It cannot be countered. It is truth. It is something very strong, and it deserves to be considered as such. And sometimes we have points of evidence or indications that are in the category of take it or leave it. Take it or leave it, but they're interesting. So, and this is one of those proofs. We're concerning Colombus. Christopher Columbus discovered America. He was searching for a route, a trade route to the east via the west, assuming that the earth is round and he assumed that the earth was smaller than it actually is, so therefore he thought that by going westward he could get to the east. And in principle he could have done, but there were intervening continents. The American continents intervened. And he made 4 or 5 trips to this region, and discovered the lands of America, what is now America, also the Caribbean, and all of that region. And he began the process of revealing this area to the Europeans. Maybe that in ancient times, the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Hebrews, the Phoenicians were aware of America. There's a lot of proof, a lot of evidence in that direction. Nevertheless, it had been forgotten. Whatever they knew, they had forgotten about it, and at this stage in history, it was unknown. And because of the voyages of Columbus, it became known. And this changed history. It changed history altogether. It changed the reality as we know it. So Columbus deserves credit for this. And Columbus was motivated. He was motivated by his enterprising spirit, by his urge, his lust almost to know, to confirm knowledge, to confirm the theories, and to find a practical expression to them. And also he was motivated by a belief in the Bible. And he believed that the Bible confirmed this. He understood that the Proverbs 8:2-7 and Isaiah 40:22 and so on indicates that the earth is round. And it also mentions that the earth is round in the Talmud and Jewish sources. But the Bible itself, if read properly, also indicates that the earth was round, and also that there was something called Tarshish. Tarshish was the expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, and from Tarshish the lost 10 tribes would return, the Israelites would return, and that he didn't actually understand how this would come about, but he had the feeling that by doing what he was doing, he would be opening up the ways for this to take place, and this is indeed what happened. And we have it in the Bible. The Bible tells us in Isaiah chapter 60, we are told, who are these that fly like a cloud and like doves to their windows? For the coastlands shall wait for me, the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your children from far away, their silver and gold with them, for the name of the Lord your God, and for the Holy One of Israel, because he has glorified you. So here it is speaking about the future, about the end times, long before, after Columbus. Columbus lived long before then. We have not yet reached the end times, but this is a prophecy. So what Isaiah was referring to was something that will happen in the end times. But in a sense, Columbus made this possible, because in the end times, the lost 10 tribes will return. The Israelites will return, and they will return from Tarshish, that is from the Atlantic Ocean area, in ships plying the Atlantic Ocean area, and also will return by air travel. They shall return as the clouds and as doves flying to their windows. And we have shown, proven how the name America, which in colloquial terms, in common day speech, America applies to the USA. The name America, the very name America, is derived from a Latinized version of the Hebrew term, appellation Ha-Mechiri. Literally, Ha-Mechiri means men who belong to Mechir, or those pertaining to Mechir, Mechir being the firstborn son of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. Later it became used as a nickname for someone whose name was Mechir, and this person did exist. He was a famous Jewish warrior in the Middle Ages, in the time of Charlemagne and so on, and his name also entered into local Gentile, non-Jewish history, and there he was referred to as Mechiri. He was referred Mechiri, the name Mechiri, the first name Mechiri in Hebrew by the Jews, or Ha-Mechiri, was referred to by the non-Jews and non-Jewish writings as America. And this name America was eventually picked up, became popular in the region, or became known. It was in the general stock of names of that region. And Americo Vespucci, an Italian navigator who also came shortly after Columbus and proved that the lands that Columbus had discovered were separate, were not part of Asia, they were separate continents. And in honor of him, the whole name America was given. So that indirectly one could say that the name America is derived from a Jewish term or Israelite term, meaning pertaining to Mechir, belonging to Mechir. In other words, being part of the sons of Manasseh, because Mechir was the firstborn son of Manasseh. Manasseh is the son of Joseph, one of the sons of Joseph, along with Ephraim. And we have shown that the lost 10 tribes are now amongst Western nations in Europe, Western Europe, and also amongst their descendants overseas, and also in North America. And that in the USA, the tribe of Manasseh is dominant. As the tribe of Manasseh placed its stamp, as if to say, its cultural and national characteristics on the population of the USA. Another term given to the USA is Columbia. This name Columbia is after Columbus named after Columbus, and it was first given from very early times, even from the time when the USA members of the population of the states that later became the USA, when they were plotting rebellion against the British, they used the term Columbia as, in other words, for another name for America. And so from a very early stage, the term Columbia is an alternative name for America. And this name Columbia is also found in American culture. They have also in American literature. Columbia is another name for America. Columbia is named after Christopher Columbus, and his name was meant the doves. In other words, Columbia literally means land of the doves. And we have this prophecy of Isaiah 60, who said, "Who are these that fly like a cloud and like doves to their windows? For the coastland shall wait for me the ships of Tarshish first." And we have shown elsewhere in some detail that this applies to North America and the Atlantic Ocean area. So it's interesting that one of the other names also given to the land of America, this name Columbia, means land of the doves, and doves are part of the equation that Isaiah uses. And as we said, all these different pieces of information, of indication, some you might think they're quaint, they're cute, they're nice, but they also say something, especially when you take them one after the other and you put them all together and you get a composite picture of interest and of prescient formidability, of great potency. May the God of Israel bless all of you. Thank you.